Alright guys, thank you for joining me here at the Rolling Road. Today we got to go. Just a basic, simple video on how to smoke pork chops. Right here I have a pack of regular pork chops. You'll find them in your grocery store. There'll be like 7 or 8 pork chops for like $10. They're the center cut pork chops. But I'm just going to show you a basic way to get the most bang and the most flavor out of them by just simply brining them. And I'll have a link to the brine right here and sticking them in the smoke. So y'all stay tuned right here on the Rolling Grill. Yeah boy. Alright, just to give you a run through on what I did with the brine. This brine is actually simply just probably more like 3 to 4 parts water. I use my seasonings, but you can use any seasonings to do this brine. I used 2 parts party dust, 1 part QQ dust. Basically, I probably used 1 cup of party dust and then a half a cup of QQ dust. And you always want to taste it. Before I put anything in the brine, it's always water, and then I taste it. And sometimes if I'm not putting it on the grill or the smoker, then I'll put some liquid smoke in there. But since I'm putting it on the smoker, there's no liquid smoke. There's simply just these 2 seasonings. I taste it, I make sure the salt content is right, and I put my pork chops in there. So these pork chops have been sitting in this brine for 2 days now. So what I'm going to do now is just drain this off, come back. I'm not even going to pat them dry. I'm not even going to rinse them off, rather. I am going to pat them dry, but I'm not going to rinse them off. And then we'll come back and I'll show y'all the next step in the process. Alright, now that I have my pork chops removed from the brine, they're wet, they're moist. All I'm going to do is just sit them on a paper towel. I'll give you an example. I'll just do 2 of them. I'm just patting them dry. I'm not doing anything else to them. Now, this is a salt and pepper mixture that I use on brisket in conjunction with one of these seasonings. But it's pretty much just a 2 parts pepper, 1 part salt. But I'm just going to hit them with it. I'm going to hit them up with it real quick. Flip them over. They're super moist. They're full of moisture. And we are ready to go. I'm going to hit these with a little olive oil. Alright, so these 2 pork chops are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these pork chops salt and peppered, and then on the smoker we go. Alright folks, and just like that, we're ready to go. So our pork chops have been salt, peppered, and olive oil down, and they are ready to hit the pit. I think today what we're going to do is we're going to smoke these pork chops over some post oak and some apple wood. The post oak will give it a nice, strong, smoky flavor, and the apple wood is going to give it a beautiful bronze color. But we're ready to go. These are full of moisture, so I'm not worried about them over smoking. I'm probably going to run my pit right around 280-ish if I can get it there. And I'm actually going to use the propane smoker. A lot of guys have been asking me about doing some simpler stuff in that propane smoker other than like big cuts of meat. So I'm going to run these in the propane smoker over oak and apple. And we're going to stay around 280 and we'll see how they come out. So y'all stay tuned. I just want to give y'all a close-up view of them pork chops before I put them on. See how good and moist they are. It's a little bit of olive oil on them, but they just good and juicy, period. 2 days of brine. Yes, sir. Alright, gonna go ahead and get this thing lit up. Alright, got it on high. Pull my tray out. 2 parts oak, 1 part apple. And I'm gonna put them right here. Right in the center. And I'm also going to run, I put them right in the center. They're going to burn. It's going to be enough. That heat is going to get them hot. So I'm going to let them run on high for probably about 30 minutes to get that wood burning. Then we'll come out here and put them pork chops on. Alright, we're ready to go. We got the pit smoking at about 285 right now. I'm going to use my 3rd rack. I'm going to put the pork chops right here. And first 4. I got a total of 6. So I'm gonna put the second ones a little further down. Alright. So there we have it. Let me let y'all see. There we have it. That's the second rack at the bottom, third rack. I'm not anything on the fourth rack, and our heat source is at the bottom. So we'll come back and check them in about, I'm gonna let them run probably about 285 for probably about 45 minutes. Then we'll come back and check them. All right, just a quick note. The goal is to reduce it to almost like half. Break down the sugars, break down the apple jelly, and allow everything to kind of get that nice balance of sweet and vinegary, sweet and savory, whatever you want to call it. But you're gonna have to reduce it down by like almost half. So this has been on for probably almost like 20-25 minutes. I may even let it go a little bit longer. That's what we're looking like so far. All right, just wanted to show you. We're probably like maybe about 25 minutes in. You can see them. I flipped them over. You can see they starting to take on a lot of that little color from that smoke. That's what you want. Yes, sir. And there you have it, guys. Look at that. Fire. Look at that. Apple. That was a little blonde, but that's okay. Apple and oak wood. All right, y'all. Let's cut it up and see how juicy it is. Look at that. Yes, sir. All right, guys. We are finished with the basic building blocks to smoking pork chops. Hope you guys have learned something from it. But, you know, we got to cut some open first. And me, I like the ones right there on that bone. That's what a good eating is, right there on that bone. Let me see if I can get a close up on it. Right there on that bone. That's what a good eating is. You know, of course, you're gonna have some marks in there that won't be too smoky. Okay, so that's just the grill. But you can see that juicy. You see the drip? You see the juice dripping? Can you see it? They're juicy. So let me go back with this juicy one. And I mean, it's a pork chop. You don't cut pork chops. You just eat them off the bone. But I am going to cut it. Just want to show y'all. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to fan that thing out. Just to show you. 2 days of brining. What 2 days of brining that pork chop will do for you. And yes, it is cooked all the way through. We did at 285 degrees, we did it for 45 minutes at 285, and then we cranked that bad boy up and went to 300 degrees. But let me see if you can see that. See if you can see that. See how beautiful that. Sorry for my phone in the background. See if you can see how look at it, how beautiful that meat is. Got a nice little smoke ring. It's good and juicy. You know, good and juicy. Look at that. And you can see it. It's good and juicy. Still hot. So, enough of that. I made my little vinegar-based barbecue sauce. It's got a little mustard in it, some apple jelly, and stuff like that. I'll tell you, if you're not much for vinegar, and you don't like the vinegar bite, by all means add more apple jelly to sweeten it up, or use some white sugar to sweeten it up. White sugar would definitely sweeten it up more than brown sugar. And you know, I don't like a lot of sauce on my meat, so just a little drizzle is good for me. Just something I can run it through and eat. But I'm gonna give you a shameless plug. I have no affiliation with this company, but I really like this barbecue sauce. Every time I go to Texas, I pick it up. If you have not tried the Head Country Apple Habanero, this right here is fire. This right here is fire as well. Excellent on pork. Excellent on rib. Excellent on everything. Oh yeah, that's fire. Either way you want to go, you can't go wrong. Thicker sauce, thinner sauce. So, alright guys, so as always, I want to thank y'all for joining me here at the Roll and Grill. You know, there's always good food. Look at that. Just want to show y'all something real quick. That's how I like my sauce on my meat. I don't like no thick sauce. Alright, man. So as always, good food, good vibes. Catch y'all in the next one. Yeah, boy! Man, look at that bone, man. Yes, sir. Behind the scenes.